The massive crystalline spires of the Galactic Council's headquarters pierced the purple sky of Centauri Prime, their surfaces reflecting the light of 3 setting suns. Ambassador Thomas Rodriguez adjusted his deliberately outdated diplomatic uniform, suppressing a smile as he prepared to address the Council's admission committee. The antique tablet computer in his hands, selected specifically for this performance, felt almost comically primitive. Inside the vast chamber, representatives from 200 spacefaring civilizations watched with barely concealed disdain as Rodriguez approached the central podium. The Arxian delegate, a towering being of pure energy contained within an ornate mechanical shell, spoke first. The Council recognizes Earth's petition for provisional membership, the Arxian's translated voice echoed through the chamber. Though we question the wisdom of entertaining applications from species who have barely mastered basic fusion technology. Rodriguez bowed respectfully, exactly as briefed by Earth's true leadership. We are grateful for the Council's consideration, he replied, his voice steady and humble. Earth acknowledges its technological limitations but hopes to learn from the greater galactic community. The holographic displays activated, showing carefully selected images of Earth's most advanced technologies, fusion plants that the planet had actually decommissioned decades ago, early quantum computer prototypes that would make any advanced civilization scoff, and spacecraft that still relied on conventional propulsion. The Meridian representative, their crystalline form shifting through shades of amused violet, interrupted the presentation. Your species still uses chemical rockets for planetary defense. How do you expect to contribute meaningfully to the Council's collective security? In the observation gallery, Director Kira Patel of Earth's Defense Intelligence watched the proceedings through augmented reality lenses that masked their true technological sophistication. She exchanged a subtle glance with her second-in-command, Colonel Wei Zhang, both maintaining perfect composure as their plan unfolded. Earth's defensive capabilities are indeed modest, Rodriguez continued, but we have other contributions to offer. Our medical research, for instance. Medical research conducted without even basic molecular restructuring technology. The Drachnid representative's scales rattled with derision. Your species still relies on chemical compounds for healing. It's practically medieval. For the next 3 hours, Rodriguez endured the calculated humiliation, presenting Earth as an eager but primitive civilization seeking guidance from its superior cosmic neighbors. Each dismissive comment and condescending question was a victory, further confirmation that humanity's greatest deception was working perfectly. Deep beneath the ice sheets of Europa, the truth of humanity's advancement hummed with barely contained power. The Quantum Forge facility stretched for kilometers through the moon's crust, its existence masked by technologies that the Council's finest sensors couldn't even theorize. Here, Director Patel's real work took shape. The Council's session concluded with a predictable outcome: Earth would be granted limited observer status, with restricted access to the most basic technological databases. As Rodriguez left the chamber, appearing appropriately humbled, the Drachnid representative's final words echoed behind him: return when you've mastered basic gravitic field manipulation. Perhaps in another century or two. Hours later, in the secure command center of the Quantum Forge, Director Patel reviewed the day's success with her senior staff. The quantum encrypted displays showed the true extent of Earth's technological superiority: ships that didn't just manipulate gravity but rewrote the fundamental laws of physics, weapons that could end conflicts before they began, and defenses that made humanity effectively invincible to conventional attacks. They believe exactly what we want them to believe, Colonel Zhang reported, his holographic avatar flickering with quantum encrypted data. The Council's intelligence services are focusing entirely on our visible infrastructure. The quantum shield network remains completely undetected. Director Patel nodded, studying the latest test results from their newest breakthrough. Humanity learned long ago that appearing weak while being strong is far more advantageous than the reverse. Every dismissive comment, every condescending remark, they're all building blocks in our strategy. The massive display showed the skeleton of humanity's true flagship taking shape in the Forge's main construction bay, the TSS Prometheus. 3 kilometers of quantum-engineered perfection, incorporating technologies that would make the Council's finest scientists question their understanding of physics itself. How long until they realize their mistake? Asked Dr. Reyes, head of quantum propulsion research. Director Patel smiled, watching as another section of the Prometheus's quantum dark hull came online, its surface absorbing all light and sensor scans. They'll understand exactly when we want them to. Until then, let them laugh. Let them mock. Every joke at our expense is another brick in the wall of their complacency. In the artificial sky above Europa, the Council's observation satellites continued their regular sweeps, their sensors detecting exactly what Earth wanted them to see, a primitive civilization taking its first stumbling steps into the galactic community. None of them detected the quantum fields that warped space itself, or the network of defenses that could reduce a hostile fleet to atoms in microseconds. Earth had learned from its own history, from countless civilizations that had fallen because they announced their power to the world. Instead, humanity had chosen a different path. They would be underestimated, dismissed, and mocked. And when the time came to reveal the truth, those laughing the loudest would fall the hardest. The deception had begun. The galaxy's most advanced civilization was hiding in plain sight, wearing the mask of its most primitive member. And not a single being in the Council chamber had any idea what was coming. The quantum-shielded corridors of Europa's quantum forge buzzed with controlled urgency. Director Patel's footsteps echoed through the crystalline floors as she made her way to the facility's core chamber, where humanity's greatest technological achievements took shape far from prying eyes. Status report on Project Shadowfall, she commanded, entering the vast circular chamber. The room's quantum displays shimmered to life, showing real-time construction progress of Earth's hidden fleet. Dr. Isabella Martinez, Chief of Quantum Engineering, looked up from her workstation. Her holographic interface displayed a complex matrix of calculations that would make Council scientists question their fundamental understanding of physics. The quantum drive integration on the Prometheus is exceeding expectations, Director. We've achieved stable quantum tunneling at ranges previously thought impossible. The massive viewing window offered a pristine view of the Prometheus's construction bay. The ship's quantum dark hull seemed to devour light itself, a void in the shape of humanity's true power. At 3 kilometers long, it would dwarf anything in known space, but its size wasn't what made it revolutionary. Show me the latest weapons test results, Patel ordered. Dr. Raj Kumar, head of defensive systems, brought up a new series of simulations. The data streaming across multiple displays would have sent the Council's physics experts into a crisis of faith. The quantum cascade arrays performed flawlessly in the Titan trials, Kumar reported, his voice carrying a note of pride. One shot can disable any known shielding technology. The best part? As far as conventional sensors are concerned, these weapons don't exist. They operate in quantum dimensions the Council hasn't even theorized. A priority alert flashed across the command center's main display. Incoming transmission from Earth Command, announced the facility's AI, its consciousness distributed through quantum channels undetectable by alien technology. Admiral Reese's hologram materialized in the center of the chamber, his expression grave. Director, we have a situation. The Drachnid Empire has begun aggressive expansion near the Proxima Centauri sector. They've already subjugated 3 independent worlds. Patel's jaw tightened. The Drachnids had been particularly vocal about humanity's primitive status in Council meetings. Casualties? Millions. Their new quantum inhibitor weapons are overwhelming conventional defenses. The Council is deadlocked in debate, unable to respond effectively. Reese's hologram flickered with encrypted data streams. Intelligence suggests Earth may be their next target. They think we're defenseless, Dr. Martinez observed, her hands dancing through holographic engineering schematics. Exactly, Patel responded. And for now, we need them to maintain that illusion. But we also need to accelerate our timeline. Status of the quantum defense grid? Kumar brought up a new display showing a vast network of satellites invisibly encircling the solar system. Fully operational and completely undetected. To their scans, Earth appears as vulnerable as we want them to think we are. And the rest of the fleet? Martinez gestured, and the chamber's displays shifted to show construction bays stretching for kilometers through Europa's ice. 5 additional ships took shape alongside the Prometheus, each incorporating technologies that would redefine warfare in the galaxy. The Hyperion, Helios, Atlas, and Kronos are at 85% completion, she reported. The Athena is slightly behind at 82%, but we're compensating with additional quantum fabrication units. Patel studied the progress reports, her mind racing through contingencies. The Drachnids are forcing our hand. Initiate Protocol Omega. Divert all non-essential power to ship construction. I want the fleet ready for deployment within 2 weeks. The chamber erupted into focused activity. Engineers and scientists moved with renewed purpose, knowing that humanity's moment of revelation might come sooner than planned. In the observation deck overlooking the main construction bay, Patel watched as quantum energy surged through the Prometheus's superstructure. The ship's neural network, an artificial intelligence orders of magnitude beyond anything the Council had achieved, came online for initial testing. They think technology progresses in a linear fashion, she mused, addressing Kumar who had joined her at the window. That's their fundamental mistake. They expect us to follow the same development path they did, never considering that we might have found different ways to understand the universe. Their arrogance blinds them, Kumar agreed. They've grown complacent in their perceived superiority. When was the last time any Council species made a truly revolutionary breakthrough? Centuries, at least. They're so convinced they understand everything that they've stopped looking for new possibilities. Patel's reflection in the quantum glass showed a slight smile. We've built something they don't even have words for, using principles they can't comprehend. Deep within the Prometheus's quantum core, energies that defied conventional physics pulsed with growing power. The ship wasn't just advanced, it represented a completely different path of technological evolution. While the Council had mastered the manipulation of existing physical laws, humanity had learned to rewrite those laws entirely. A new alert drew their attention. The quantum sensors detected a Drachnid scout ship entering the outer solar system, its presence masked from conventional detection methods. Its sensors probed Earth's defenses, finding exactly what they expected, the minimal protection of a primitive civilization. Let them look, Patel commanded as her staff tensed. Let them report back about how vulnerable we are. Every scan that shows them what they expect to see brings us closer to the moment when we show them how wrong they've been. The Drachnid ship completed its survey and disappeared into hyperspace, carrying data that would reinforce their species' fatal misconception. Soon they would return in force, expecting to find an easy conquest. Instead, they would become the first to witness humanity's true power. In the depths of Europa, humanity's secret fleet grew stronger by the hour, their quantum dark hulls promising a revelation that would shake the galaxy to its foundations. Grand Admiral Vextar of the Drachnid Empire stood on the command deck of his flagship, the World Breaker, watching tactical displays of Earth's solar system. His scaled face reflected in the holographic projections as reports from their scout ship streamed in. Pathetic, he growled, mandibles clicking with contempt. Their most advanced orbital defense platforms still use primitive laser arrays. Their ships lack even basic quantum shielding. He turned to his war council, assembled in the vast chamber. The humans don't even realize how helpless they are. The tactical officer, Commander Zexenar, brought up detailed scans of Earth's defensive infrastructure. Their entire fleet consists of fewer than 50 combat-capable vessels, none larger than 300 meters. Their weapon systems are based on obsolete fusion technology. In the secure command center beneath Europa's ice, Director Patel watched the Drachnid fleet's movements through quantum surveillance systems that no known civilization could detect. 12 massive capital ships had gathered at the edge of the Kuiper Belt, accompanied by dozens of support vessels. "They're making quite a show of it," Colonel Zhang observed, studying the fleet formations. "They want the entire galaxy to witness how easily they crush the primitive humans." "Status of our defense grid?" Patel asked, though she already knew the answer. The quantum displays showed the vast network of satellites and automated platforms that remained invisible to conventional detection methods. Dr. Kumar brought up the latest diagnostic reports. "All systems nominal. The quantum cascade arrays are primed and synchronized. We can disable their entire fleet with a single command." "And yet we won't," Patel reminded them. "Not immediately. The galaxy needs to witness this. Not just the drachnids, but every species that thought humanity was beneath them." A priority transmission cut through their discussion. Admiral Reese's hologram appeared, his expression stern. "The Drachnid ambassador just delivered their ultimatum to our council representative. They're demanding Earth's immediate surrender and integration into their empire as a protectorate." "Their terms?" Patel asked, though she could guess. "Complete disarmament. Unrestricted access to all our resources and territory. Installation of a Drachnid military government." Reese's hologram flickered with carefully controlled anger. "They're giving us 12 hours to comply, or they'll demonstrate their overwhelming technological superiority." In the construction bays, the final preparations on humanity's hidden fleet neared completion. The Prometheus's quantum core pulsed with energies that could reshape reality itself. Its sister ships, Hyperion, Helios, Atlas, Kronos, and Athena, underwent their final system checks. "The Drachnids are broadcasting their ultimatum across all council frequencies," Zhang reported. "They want an audience for their conquest." "Then let's not disappoint them," Patel replied, initiating a series of encrypted commands. "Begin evacuation of all non-essential personnel from orbital facilities. Have our primitive defense fleet make a show of preparing for battle. Let them think we're scrambling in panic." Dr. Martinez looked up from her quantum engineering station. "Director, the Prometheus's neural network is requesting final authorization for combat protocols." The massive quantum displays showed the Drachnid fleet beginning its advance into the solar system. Their formation was perfect, their confidence absolute. They had no reason to doubt their victory over a civilization that still relied on chemical rockets and laser weapons. "Signal from the Council," Zhang announced. "They're strongly advising immediate surrender to minimize civilian casualties. The Estran representative suggests we should be grateful the Drachnids are offering terms at all." Patel allowed herself a small smile. "Inform our council representative to request additional time for consideration. Let's see how many of our concerned allies are eager to witness our submission." Deep within the quantum forge, humanity's true fleet waited in perfect silence. Their quantum dark hulls absorbed all energy, their advanced AI systems running battle simulations that predicted victory in every scenario. They represented not just advancement, but evolution, a completely different understanding of what was possible. The Drachnid fleet crossed Neptune's orbit, their sensors detecting exactly what Earth wanted them to see, a primitive civilization preparing for a hopeless last stand. Their communication channels filled with mockery and predictions of swift victory. "How long should we let them maintain their illusion of superiority?" Kumar asked, watching the enemy fleets approach. "Long enough for every species in the galaxy to commit themselves," Patel replied. "Some will cheer for our destruction. Some will watch in silence. Some might even feel pity. But all of them will remember what happens next." In the artificial sky above Europa, quantum energy rippled through subspace, undetectable by conventional sensors. Humanity's moment of revelation approached, not with the thunder of primitive weapons, but with the quiet certainty of absolute technological superiority. The Drachnids continued their advance, broadcasting their intention to make Earth an example of what happened to primitive species that refused to acknowledge their betters. They never noticed the quantum fields surrounding their fleet, never detected the technologies that operated on principles they couldn't comprehend. They were about to learn, along with the rest of the galaxy, that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their hidden fleet or their advanced technology. It was their patience, their willingness to endure mockery and contempt while preparing to rewrite the rules of galactic civilization itself. The Drachnid fleet entered Mars' orbit with the confidence of predators who had never known defeat. Their massive ships cast shadows across the red planet's surface, weapons primed for what they expected to be a brief and brutal demonstration of power. Final warning transmitted to the primitive humans, Grand Admiral, Commander Zexenar reported. Their response remains, confused. Their ships are moving into defensive formations, but their maneuvers are basic, almost amateur. Grand Admiral Vextar's scales rippled with amusement. Begin broadcasting on all council frequencies. Let the galaxy witness how we deal with species that don't know their place. In Europa's command center, Director Patel watched the enemy fleet's positioning with calculated satisfaction. The quantum displays showed every detail of the Drachnid ships, their crews completely unaware of the surveillance they couldn't detect. All council members have acknowledged the broadcast feed, Colonel Zhang reported. The Meridians are already drafting statements condemning Earth's foolish resistance. The Arxians are preparing to recognize Drachnid authority over the Sol system. Perfect, Patel replied. Status of our fleet. Dr. Martinez's hands danced through quantum-encrypted displays. The Prometheus and all sister ships report ready. Quantum cores at full capacity. Neural networks synchronized. Awaiting your command. The massive screens showed the Drachnid fleet's final attack formation. 27 ships arranged in a perfect assault pattern, their energy weapons powering up for what they thought would be a devastating first strike. Let them fire first, Patel ordered. Let them commit fully to their mistake. The Drachnid flagship's primary weapon blazed to life, launching a stream of concentrated plasma that would have vaporized any conventional vessel. It struck Earth's orbital defense station, and for a moment, the galaxy watched the structure appear to crumble. An excellent light show, Kumar commented, monitoring the holographic projections they'd prepared specifically for this moment. They're completely convinced they've drawn first blood. Vextar's triumphant broadcast echoed through the command center, let this be a lesson to all primitive species who dare to resist the Empire's protection. Your pathetic defenses cannot. Now, Patel commanded quietly. In the void beyond Mars, reality itself seemed to shiver. 6 massive ships appeared from nowhere, their quantum dark hulls absorbing light and sensor scans alike. The Prometheus led the formation, its 3-kilometer length dwarfing even the Drachnid flagship. What is this? Vextar's voice lost its mocking tone. Where did they? Impossible. Full scan. Their sensors are trying to analyze our ships, Martinez reported, allowing herself a small smile. They can't even comprehend what they're looking at. Their scan patterns show they're attempting to classify us using known technological frameworks. Time to show them something new, Patel said. Prometheus, you have weapons free. Demonstration pattern alpha. The quantum cascade array activated. There was no beam of light, no visible energy discharge. Instead, a ripple of altered physics spread across space. The Drachnid fleet's shield simply ceased to exist, their advanced energy barriers dropped by technologies that functioned on principles they couldn't understand. Enemy fleet reporting total shield failure, Zhang announced. Their command channels are in chaos. 3 ships attempting emergency jumps to hyperspace. Denied, Patel said calmly. The Quantum Forge's defense grid activated, creating a localized space where conventional faster-than-light travel became impossible. The Drachnid ships were trapped, their most advanced technologies rendered useless by humanity's hidden power. Broadcasting on all frequencies, Patel ordered. Let's educate our guests. Her voice echoed across every communication channel in the system. This is Director Kira Patel of Earth's Defense Command. For centuries, humanity has watched the galaxy's powers abuse those they considered primitive. We hid our true capabilities not out of fear, but because we needed to understand who you really were. Now you understand who we really are. The Prometheus moved with impossible grace, its quantum drive allowing it to seemingly ignore the laws of physics. In seconds, it had surrounded the Drachnid flagship with afterimages of itself, demonstrating levels of technology that the enemy couldn't even theorize. Your weapons are disabled. Your shields are gone. Your ability to flee has been revoked, Patel continued. You came to teach primitives their place in the galaxy. Instead, you've learned that appearances can be deceiving. Grand Admiral Vextar's voice had lost all its previous arrogance. What are you? We are humanity, Patel replied. And we are no one's primitives. The galaxy's balance of power has shifted. The era of technological suppression and species-based hierarchy ends today. You will carry this message back to your empire. Earth is not a prize to be claimed or a primitive world to be conquered. We are the civilization you should have feared all along. The quantum displays showed similar scenes playing out across Council space as news of the confrontation spread. Species that had dismissed humanity as primitive watched in stunned silence as their understanding of the galaxy's power structure crumbled. The deception was over. Humanity's mask had been removed. And the galaxy would never be the same. The Grand Council chamber on Centauri Prime had never been so silent. Representatives from 200 species sat in stunned contemplation as quantum-encrypted displays showed the aftermath of humanity's revelation. The Drachnid fleet, once considered among the most powerful in known space, hung motionless in Mars' orbit, their ships preserved as a monument to misplaced arrogance. Director Patel stood before the council, no longer wearing outdated diplomatic attire but a quantum-engineered uniform that seemed to absorb light itself. Her presence commanded attention in a way that no amount of primitive posturing could have achieved. For centuries, she addressed the assembly. Humanity watched as advanced species lorded their technology over others. We saw how you treated those you considered primitive. Your actions taught us everything we needed to know about your civilization. The Arxian representative's energy form flickered with distress. Your deception was unprecedented. You violated Council protocols on technological disclosure. Protocols designed to maintain the existing power structure, Patel countered. Rules created by advanced species to keep others dependent and subservient. We chose a different path. In orbit above Earth, the Prometheus and its sister ships maintained their vigilant watch, their quantum dark holes a reminder of how completely humanity had rewritten the rules of technological advancement. Council sensor arrays still couldn't properly analyze them. The ships operated on principles that existed outside conventional scientific understanding. The balance of power has shifted, Colonel Zhang announced, standing beside Patel. But humanity has no interest in empire building or revenge. We propose a new framework for galactic cooperation. The quantum displays activated, showing detailed plans for technological sharing and species advancement. Not the careful, controlled dissemination that the Council had practiced, but true collaboration aimed at lifting all civilizations together. Impossible, the Meridian representative's crystalline form pulsed with alarm. Unrestricted technological sharing would cause chaos. Lesser species cannot handle advanced technology responsibly. That argument lost its credibility when the primitive humans proved more responsible with advanced technology than any of your empire-building species, Patel responded. Your fear isn't about responsibility, it's about control. Dr. Martinez stepped forward, her quantum tablet displaying simulation after simulation of positive technological integration. Our development proved that different paths to advancement are possible. While you focused on manipulating existing physical laws, we learned to transcend them entirely. The chamber erupted in overlapping arguments and demands. Some species called for immediate sanctions against Earth. Others desperately offered alliances. A few, notably the younger civilizations, showed genuine interest in humanity's proposal for open collaboration. The era of technological suppression is over, Patel declared above the chaos. Earth extends an open invitation to any species interested in genuine cooperation. Those who wish to cling to old hierarchies are free to do so, alone. In the weeks that followed, the galaxy's power structure underwent a fundamental transformation. The Drachnid Empire, humbled by their defeat, was the first to accept Earth's terms for technological exchange. Their civilization had learned a harsh but valuable lesson about the price of arrogance. The quantum forge beneath Europa became a symbol of the new order. Where once humanity had hidden their advancements, now carefully selected representatives from various species worked alongside Earth's scientists, exploring possibilities that neither civilization could have achieved alone. "They're still struggling to accept how completely we surprised them," Dr. Kumar observed, watching a group of alien scientists examine quantum cascade technology with barely concealed awe. "Some lessons require a dramatic teacher," Patel replied. The galaxy needed to understand that advancement doesn't follow a single path. Innovation comes from challenging assumptions, not enforcing them. The quantum displays showed similar scenes playing out across Council space. Species that had been deemed primitive were sharing their unique perspectives on technology and physics, contributing insights that centuries of rigid thinking had overlooked. The galaxy was evolving, not through conquest or competition, but through genuine collaboration. In the artificial sky above Europa, the Prometheus continued its patrol, a reminder of humanity's capability for both deception and revelation. Its quantum-dark hull absorbed starlight, much as humanity had absorbed the lessons of history. True strength lies not in displaying power, but in knowing when and how to use it. The age of artificial hierarchies and technological suppression had ended. In its place, a new era of genuine cooperation emerged, one where advancement was measured not by dominance over others, but by the ability to lift all species toward their true potential. Humanity had hidden in plain sight, wearing the mask of primitives while developing power beyond imagination. But their greatest achievement wasn't their technology, it was using that power to reshape galactic civilization itself, replacing fear and domination with collaboration and growth. The deception was complete. The revelation had succeeded. And the galaxy would never be the same again.